Hey y'all, I am so excited to be here with you all this evening. I know this is a different format for me. I have been wanting to try this out for a while, watching some of my favorite podcasters using this platform to do their podcast, and I wanted to do that today. I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a minute. I have not, my last recording or my last episode was recorded in October. And I will honestly say your girl was going through some things. The things. Okay. And I'm gonna get into those things. But I'm super excited to be using this format to bring this Lifted to Life by Dana B podcast visuals. And I love visuals. So that y'all can see my face. I am fresh off work today, but I wanted to just see y'all, talk to y'all, all of the things today. So as I said, my last podcast was recorded in October. And since then, your girl has been going through a lot, a lot. And that's putting it mildly. So if we can do like Joan Rivers used to say, can we talk? So if you have your wine, get your coffee, get your whatever it is that you need, whatever your vice is, let's chat and talk this thing out. Where to begin? Under this current administration, there has been a lot of crazy, a lot of chaos, confusion, frustration, anger, all of those things wrapped up in a big bag pile of shit. Let me preface this by saying there's going to be some colorful language in this podcast, okay? So Doge comes into the building, and Doge creates this program called the Deferred Resignation Program. And in that deferred resignation program email, it said, if you want to resign, if you want to quit, just hit reply, type I quit, or type I resign. Okay. I couldn't do that. I couldn't hit reply, I resign, or I quit because I don't have the years, nor do I have the age to do so. So, as all of this was happening, as that email came out, there was so much scuttlebutt going on in the office and so much anguish, frustration, what's happening, because there were a lot of questions with very zero answers. So people responded. There were a few people responded to that email with that response. I quit, I resign. Okay. So that first group of people left. Then all of a sudden, here comes this new term called RIF, reduction in force. That created more scuttlebutt, more craziness, more uncertainty, more of all of these things. And our secretary said there would be rifts within our agency. So you have people on pins and needles. People were on pins and needles because we were watching agencies close. We were watching people being furloughed. We were hearing people, some friends, family members being riffed from their agencies. So we were just wondering when was the shoe going to drop for us. So Doge continues what Doge does. And now we're doing this 5 bullet point email that we got to send every week of what we did. And my director was like, just type everything out. Don't put acronyms in your email. Type those acronyms out. Send those 5 bullet points. Put it on your calendar to send those 5 bullet points to Office of Personnel Management at 2 p.m., whatever the time is, so that you don't forget. And that's exactly what I did. Sent that email as I was supposed to. So then another DRP email comes out. If you want to resign, reply, I resign or I quit. Well, honey, that second email sent a whole lot. I mean, when I say it was a mass exodus of folk that hit I resign or replied, I resign or I quit, it was a mass exodus of people that left. There was no, there were people who their supervisor had left, their director had left. There were supervisors that had nobody to supervise because their entire team left. My team lost 50% of its personnel staff. We were just, it was craziness. And once again, I said, God, what do you want me to do? God says, be still, stand firm. You will win at life. I did not give you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of a sound mind. And then God said, P.S. He said, P.S. This is going to be a bit of a struggle for you. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy because, again, like I said, a lot of our people, they left. He said, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard for you. It's going to be a bit of a struggle. It's going to be overwhelming. He said, but trust and believe that you can only do one action at a time. You have one brain, two ears, four eyes, two hands, two arms. I said, you can only do one action at a time. It's going to get tough, but you can only do one action at a time. And that's what the hell I did. One action at a time. Did what I could do with the number of people that left. It was, okay, this is what I got to do. This is how I got to function in this. This is how I got to operate. And roughly he said, don't let this or them drive you crazy. So every office was affected by this mass exodus of people that left. And so I have always prided myself in getting my work done, but that was before the mass exodus. I had always prided myself in getting my work done, updating my customers, and just getting awards done, writing these contracts out. I was priding myself on getting it all done. But then this mass exodus occurred, and baby, I was falling behind. So it wasn't until one day I had my new leadership. My leadership had went from, I had one team lead, that team lead left, and my division chief became my team lead. So now she wearing three hats. She wearing three hats, right? She'll see the team lead, division chief, and the director, acting director. So she been wearing all these hats. So one day we're in a meeting and she says, we're going over all my actions that I have to get done. And some of them haven't been up to date because I've been so caught up in other things. Whereas I would be so focused on a task and all of a sudden somebody will call me or email me and then that'll throw me off. And next thing you know, I'm focused on what they called me about and I completely forget about what I was working on. So that was a problem for me. So I'm sitting in her office and we are going over all my actions. And she's like, Dana, you didn't update this. You didn't put this. And baby, guess what? I started crying right in her office. I was in tears. And she was just like, oh no, no, no. So she shuts the door, she's calming me down. And I said to her, I said, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. And she said, I understand. She said, I understand completely. I said, I am overwhelmed. And and that's how I ended up getting behind. I said, I find myself getting caught up in, I'm doing my work, focused and honed in on my task. And all of a sudden somebody emails me with something or sends me a Teams chat. And all of a sudden I'm distracted and I'm focused on that. And so her advice to me was very simple. She said, you ain't got to respond to those emails right away. You ain't got to respond to that chat right away. If you are focused on something, you finish what you were focusing on, and then you respond to those emails, whatever the chat is. She said, you put your teams on busy or do not disturb when you are honed in on something. Don't let them distract you from your work. You will get to it when you get to it, I said. And that's from the boss, the lady, my division chief, my director herself. You ain't got to respond to them people right away. You don't have to do that. So I said, okay. And ever since then, do not disturb, busy. Once I see that email, I don't click on it right away. It just goes to my inbox and I'll get to it when I get to it. Point blank and the period. So the next thing I have been dealing with is I became a parent to a child, well, an adult who went no contact. My daughter, my oldest daughter, decided to go no contact for 5 months. 5 months. She and I don't even want to say she and I got into a tiff. There was some miscommunication happened around the holiday, around Christmas. And that miscommunication, she didn't ask questions to find out if something was accurate or something was inaccurate. So because she assumed, she got in her feelings about some things and she decided to go no contact. Now, as a mother, to go no contact, and I'm speaking for me, I deal with anxiety. Okay. I've dealt with anxiety badly in the past, especially when my girls were growing up, when they were in high school and coming home and just anxiety always got the best of me. When they got jobs and coming home from work and at night, my anxiety would get the best of me. And I mean my anxiety would get the best of me and Satan would be saying some things like, oh, your daughter got kidnapped. I mean, my mind was crazy. Okay. But eventually, the reality of it was don't pray and worry. How you going to pray and ask God to keep his righteous hand upon your children, to keep your kids safe from hurt, harm, and danger, and then you go into anxiety mode and you start worrying? Hello? That don't make sense. That don't match. Praying and worrying don't go together. That's like oil and water. They just don't mix. Okay. So for my daughter to go no contact for 5 months, my anxiety was through the roof because she had blocked me via text, blocked me via phone call. She had blocked me on everything. She turned off her location, everything. Okay. So then I was able to ask my family members to give my daughter a call and see how she doing, to check in on her for me, just to see how she doing, which was fine. They would call her because, like they always do, they didn't call and say, "Oh, your mama told me to call and check on you." No, they would call, see how she doing, see where she is, and they would just say, "Girl, she fine, she fine, she did that." And I'm like, okay. So that brought me the ease. So a little bit after 5 months, out the blue, while I was running errands, I gave her a call, and she answered the phone like, I didn't know what to do. But I just simply just was casual conversation. So of course she acted like nothing was wrong. I didn't get into this. Well, you ain't talked to me in 5 months. Nope. It was just going to see how you doing, how the dog's doing, how the boyfriend doing, all those things. Yep. It was a simple conversation, child. I think the conversation lasted for like 3 minutes, and then that was it. Done. That was it. Finished. And then it became her calling me, back to calling me. And so I just listen. I don't give no advice. My sister was like, don't give any advice. Just listen. Don't judge. Smile and wave and leave it that. Only time you might want to answer is if she ask you a question. And that's the end of that. Okay. The next thing I've been doing is maneuvering in this single gal life that I live, right? Here I am, the founder and the host of the Lifted to Life by Dana B podcast, and I forgot about my self-care. Me. I forgot. I was the queen of self-care. Girl, and I completely forgot about self-care. Completely forgot about it. Um, and so I would find myself coming home after my long day at work, exhausted from the bullshit in the office. And I would just come home, plop on the couch, turn on the Housewives, whatever. No, not no Tyler Perry movie. What the fuck? No. Mm-mm. Turn on a movie, just and not doing anything for myself. Nothing for myself. And and I was like, what is wrong with you? And it wasn't until I had a conversation. I can't remember who it was I had a conversation with. And they had plans to do X, Y, and Z for themselves. And I was thinking, like, I was cheering them on, right? Excited for what they were about to do. And I said, you know what? What I need to be doing something for myself. And I used to, that me time was important to me. That me time was important for me to go out, have a drink. Matter of fact, you know what? It was for a friend's birthday. I was meeting them at a restaurant and they were coming to the restaurant late and I get off work at 5:30. So they would come to the restaurant at 7. The restaurant was like 20 minutes away from where I work. And I was like, not about to go all the way home to come all the way back. No, that would have been stupid. So I went to the restaurant for the happy hour. And then I'm sitting at the bar like I used to back in the day for that good me time. And I'm sitting at the bar like, girl, you ain't done this in a long time. And this was a restaurant I had never been to. And so I'm sitting there and it's happy hour and I'm drinking my little martini and I ordered me some lamb chops and some French fries and I'm talking to the people at the bar that's sitting next to me and one lady is like cheers and I put my glass up and we toasting and everything and I'm like I haven't done this for myself in a long time. I'm going that is what started for me going back to making sure that the me time included just going out and enjoying my me quality time for me, right? And then a few weeks ago, one of my favorite plays was in DC, Pearly Victorious. I remember seeing this play when I was a kid, and it's an old school play written by Ossie Davis, starring Ossie Davis and Ruby Dee. The movie is called Gone Are the Days. It's a classic black and white movie. Funny, funny. And I wanted to see the play. So I'm thinking in my head, oh, what friend can I call to go see the play with me? And the voice in my head said, go by yourself. You go by yourself. You can go see the play by yourself. Who said you had to go with somebody? So I went online, bought my ticket, and honey, went to see the play a few weeks ago, sat in that theater laughing out loud. And I mean, I enjoyed myself immensely. Immensely, had good me time, went to see the play that I wanted to see, having to ask people, did they want to go with me? I bought the ticket and I went. And it was like, Dana, these are the things that make you happy, right? Yes, work is going to be work, but make sure that you do the things outside of work that make you happy. And I'm telling you the same thing. Do the things that make you happy and especially maneuvering in this crazy life. Okay. So, some of the things that I've learned to do is taking solo trips. I recently went to Virginia to visit my youngest daughter, and oh my gosh, when I tell you, being with her reminded me of so much. First thing is take care of you. Take care of you. Ooh, sound like it's a thunderstorm coming. Oh boy. Take care of you. You matter. You have to remind yourself, I matter. Quality time with others is great, but quality time with yourself is even greater, especially when you're doing the things that you love to do, the things that make you happy, the things that make you smile. The job that I have, yes, I'm grateful for it. The rifts did not come. The DRP the DRPs came, the mass exodus occurred, and I've learned how to begin to maneuver and not be so overwhelmed. Now I do these things called time goals where I set my timer on my watch for like an hour where I'm focused for an hour. And then after that hour is up, I get up, go get a snack, drink some water, go for a walk, scroll, get on words with friends, not social media, getting away from the things that bleed me. And social media is that thing that bleeds me. And so I am more of reading, getting back into my reading my books, doing those things after that goal is set. And then I set my timer for maybe 30 minutes to another hour and I focus, right? And then what I love to do at my lunch hour is I go for a walk. And I mean a walk. So where my office is, we are by the water. And so I go for a walk along on that boardwalk, looking at the water. Sometimes I sit down and I'm looking at the waters and as it moves and that's what I do. And that's what I do. And and when I get back to my workspace, I'm refreshed, I'm renewed, I'm ready to finish out my work day. And that's what's been working for me. When I come home, I don't come home and flick on the television and turn on Housewives or anything. I flick on the TV and I listen to nature sounds. You hear that? The crickets. You hear that? Yeah. Listen to that, and just sit down and read my book, or I might read my devotional, read my inspirational book, whichever it is, just for that quiet to come down and to decompress from my workday. And that has been a joy for me. Something corny I've been doing as well. I started themed days of the week. Like today is Motivational Monday. So all day today, I've been listening to motivational music, motivational podcasts. Motivational Monday is just me just listening to those things that's motivating me and getting me going. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Tomorrow is Taibo Tuesday. And that's me moving my body. It could be in Taibo, it could be Zumba, just dancing. It could be just yoga, whatever, moving my body. Because my doctor said if you don't use it, you'll lose it. And I'm 54, I mean 53. I don't want to lose it, okay? Not at all. Um, and then I have my self-care Sundays, I have my wellness Wednesdays, I have my thankful Thursdays. So each day is a theme of me just doing something. And I know that might sound a bit corny, but it's been fun for me to do. Okay. Fun for me to do. And then I'm getting outside more. While I was visiting my daughter this past week, we went to a botanical garden. I had never been to a botanical garden. Never. That was my first time. And I was enamored and in awe of all of the beautiful flowers that I got to see and I got to smell. I love hydrangea bushes in every color. There was red, purple, pink, blue, white. Oh my gosh. Those hydrangeas were just so beautiful and I loved every one of them that I saw. Like, oh my gosh, they were so pretty. And then what my daughter told me to do was to just be still. Just be still. I walked into her place on Saturday. She she's listening. Well, first of all the windows were open in her place. Patio door was wide open. And I mean, I'm always my patio door is always open because I like for my house to let it breathe. My daughter say burp. Let the house burp. And she just was in this calm, relaxing mood, just relaxing, right? The nature on the YouTube playing, and she's just sitting there reading her book. And I'm sitting there and I'm in awe of my daughter for a second. I'm like, because this was somebody who was hyper as a kid. Okay. Hyper as a kid. Now she just in this real chill Zen mode that I admire. You know what I mean? I admire that. So as we're sitting on the couch and she's reading her book and I'm playing Words with Friends and I'm in chill mode, I'm like, this is nice. This is what I should be doing and I have been doing it, which I love a lot. Yes, yes. So remember to be still, be quiet. If you get overwhelmed, take a beat, take a walk, get up, get out, change the scenery, right? Get away from the things that bleed you. Social media is the thing that was bleeding me, and lean into the things that feed you. Okay. So before I close out this episode today, and I appreciate y'all for sticking around, listening, I'm going to read an excerpt from one of my favorite books that I have been reading. This is called The Journey to the Heart, and this is the book by Melody Beattie. And today's devotion is Discover the Power of Stillness. I will forever remember Yellowstone Glacier Lake at midnight. A large full moon, the biggest I have ever seen, was resting atop the lake. The lake was frozen over, a still mirror between the mountains. Even the pines stood motionless. At that moment, I saw stillness, quiet, motionless stillness, and I began to understand its power. Be still and know that I am God. How often I heard that verse from the Bible. How well I knew it, but how little I understood stillness. Stillness is different from solitude, different from aloneness, different from turning off the stereo or speaking softly. Stillness is a place. You can find it in the desert or in the mountains. You can find it when you're alone or when you're in the midst of people. You can find stillness wherever you are, whatever you're going through. Stillness is a place within you. Slow down, breathe deeply, get quiet, become familiar with stillness. Take time to learn its power. From that place of stillness, the right action will emerge and you will find your next step. From that place of stillness, you can move into the present moment. There you will find your power, and there God will find you. Guys, I thank y'all so much. Thank you for tapping into today's episode. Leave me a review, like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Send me an email at liftedtolife@gmail.com, and I will see you all next time. Have a good day.